So, what's the next real giant leap for AI? It's not just about building bigger and bigger models. It's about making them smarter, way more reliable, and actually connected to the world as it is right now. Okay, let's get into the tech that's making this happen. It's called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or as we all know it, RAG.
So here's our game plan. We're going to go on a quick evolutionary journey. First, we'll tackle the fundamental problem that trips up even the most powerful language models. Then we'll unpack the brilliant solution, RAG, and see how it's grown through different stages. We'll meet some of the super specialized systems out there today, and wrap up by looking at why RAG is pretty much taking over enterprise AI. All right, first things first, we have to talk about the core issue. Large language models. LLMs are, amazing. They can write poetry, they can code, they can explain just about anything. But they've got this one critical weakness, this Achilles heel that can really undermine all that incredible power. And that weakness leads directly to this. It's something we've probably all seen, right? You ask a chatbot for a simple fact, and it gives you this super confident, beautifully written, and totally wrong answer. This isn't just some random bug, it's a fundamental challenge called hallucination. So what's really going on here? Well, a hallucination happens because an LLM is basically trapped by its training data. Think about it. It knows a ton of stuff, but that knowledge is frozen in time, at the moment its training ended. It has no idea about your company's latest quarterly report, what happened in the news 5 minutes ago, or any of your private data. It's trying its best to answer questions about a world it can't actually see anymore.
And this is where the solution comes into frame so perfectly. An LLM on its own? It's like a genius professor locked in a room with a library full of books that are all 5 years out of date. Brilliant, but isolated. RAG is a technology that basically kicks down the door, hands the professor a smartphone with a live internet connection, and a key to every modern library in the world. It connects the model to fresh, current, and authoritative knowledge, grounding it in reality.
Okay, so how does this actually work? How do we give this AI its library? Let's pull back the curtain on the basic RAG blueprint, and you'll see it's a surprisingly slick and powerful process.
At its heart, it's like a 4-step dance. First, you ask a question, but instead of the LLM just jumping in to answer, the RAG system hits pause. It goes on a little fact-finding mission first. It searches an external knowledge base, could be your company's private documents, a medical database, whatever, for the most relevant information. Then it takes those facts, stuffs them right into the prompt, and tells the LLM, okay, now answer the user's question, but, and this is the important part, only use these facts I just gave you. What you get is an answer that's grounded, accurate, and totally up to date.
But wait, how does the system even know what info is relevant? Well, this is the secret sauce, something called vector embeddings. Just think of it like a universal translator for ideas. It turns text into a long string of numbers, a vector, that captures its real semantic meaning. So things with similar meanings, like annual revenue and yearly sales, end up being neighbors in this vast numerical space. This is what lets the system find documents that are conceptually about your question, not just ones that happen to have the exact same keywords. It's a game changer.
Now, here's the thing. RAG isn't just one static idea. It has grown up a lot. Let's take a look at the 3 major paradigms that have really emerged, transforming it from a simple concept into a seriously sophisticated and flexible framework.
And this table just lays it all out. It all started with what we now call naive RAG, a simple one-shot retrieval and generation, perfect for quick prototypes or a straightforward FAQ bot. But then came advanced RAG, and this is where things get interesting. It adds in smart new layers like query refinement, where the system actually rephrases your question to get better results, and re-ranking, where it carefully sorts through everything it found to push the absolute best evidence to the top. This is what makes it ready for serious enterprise work. And today we have modular RAG, which is a true plug-and-play system. Every single part of the process can be swapped out and optimized. It's incredibly flexible and built for cutting-edge AI.
This modular world has led to this incredible explosion of specialized RAG systems, each one fine-tuned for a specific kind of job. You should think of them less like a single Swiss Army knife and more like a whole team of highly trained specialists. Let's meet a few of the stars.
First up, agentic RAG. And wow, this one's a game changer. It's not just an answer machine anymore. It's an autonomous researcher. You can give it a really complex query, something like, analyze our competitors' Q3 earnings report and summarize their new market strategy. It won't just do a simple search. No, it'll break that big task down into smaller steps, figure out which databases or tools it needs for each part, go get the info, and then put it all together. It's literally investigating on your behalf.
Next, we've got GraphRag, which thinks in connections. This is the relationship detective. Instead of just seeing isolated documents, it uses knowledge graphs to map out all the hidden links between data points. So let's say you ask about a company's new project. A normal search finds the press release. GraphRag finds the connections from that project to the lead engineer, their past successes, the patents they hold, and the market trends driving the whole thing. You get a much, much richer picture. It's about how things are related, not just what they are.
So if GraphRag is about connecting external dots, our next specialist, SelfRag, is all about internal quality control. And I find this one fascinating. This is the super conscientious system with its own built-in fact checker. It actually generates an answer, and then it stops. It reflects on its own work. It asks itself, hey, is this statement really supported by the sources I found? Is it actually relevant? If the answer is no, it goes back to the drawing board. It makes sure everything is top-notch before it ever shows you a final result.
Okay, so we've got all this amazing tech, but what's the real payoff here? Why is this such a big deal? Well, the answer is that RAG is fundamentally changing how businesses use AI. It's taking it from a cool novelty to a core, reliable, can't-live-without-it tool.
I mean, just look at these numbers. They tell a really powerful story. Research from Databricks shows that over 60% of enterprise AI apps are already built using RAG. 60%? That's not a trend. That's the new standard. And for good reason, these systems are shown to be almost 43% more accurate than models that just rely on fine-tuning. That is a massive leap in reliability.
And you're seeing this impact everywhere. In customer support, we're finally moving past those basic chatbots. Now we have systems that can securely pull up your specific account details to give you an accurate update on your order, not just a generic FAQ link. In legal research, it's not about finding cases anymore. It's about synthesizing entire libraries of case law in seconds to find the perfect precedent. It's a huge force multiplier in any industry that runs on information.
And it's not just about accuracy, it's also about being efficient. This quote from Microsoft Research is the perfect proof. Their advanced graph RAG system got to the right answer using dramatically fewer tokens, which are the basic units of work for an LLM, and fewer tokens means faster answers and lower costs. For any business, that's a huge, huge win.
So let's tie this all together. RAG started by solving the LLM's biggest problem, its isolation. It gave the AI a library to check its facts. But the evolution we're seeing now, with agents that can use tools and access live data streams, it's all pointing to something way bigger. And it leaves us with this final, really fascinating question to chew on. What happens next when we give AI not just a library, but a real-time, interactive connection to the entire world?